Hello everyone, we'll be learning how to make this trending elastic waistband with drawstring one more time, and this is because I've had a whole lot of questions regarding this waistband. So now I will take my time to explain everything in detail. The first thing we are going to do is to measure what we have left on the waist of the trouser. Here I have 22 inches and that will be 44 inches in total when I measure around the back of the trouser. The next thing is to start cutting the band. So the band I have here is on fold, so that means I'll be cutting out 22 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance. When I spread out, it becomes 45 inches in total. The wideness of the band is 5 inches, which is 2.5 inches, while on fold we'll be using ½ inch to join the band to the waist of the trouser. The next thing I want to do now is to take the band to my sewing machine and join, as you can see. And now I'll just spread the band on fold like this and notch the center of the band. The reason we'll be doing this is just to indicate where the center of the band is going to be, so as to know where to pass the drawstring, the rope, in order for it to sit perfectly at the front of the trouser. You wouldn't want your rope to be at the back, so this is the reason we'll be marking this side. So to mark that, there is no specific measurement for that, but personally I like to do 1.5 inches apart, like that's 1.5 inches from the center to the left hand side and 1.5 inches from the center to the right hand side. So for the holes you'll be creating for the drawstring, you can use eyelets and you can also do buttonholes. Personally, I like to use buttonholes for mine, so I'll be doing buttonholes for this tutorial. Please note that the buttonholes, the eyelet, or whatever you are going to be using for your rope to pass through will only be on one side of the band. It's not going to be on both sides, and the side where we have the buttonholes will be facing outside when we join the band to the trouser. We'll be using a 2-inch elastic for this tutorial. I have so many videos on my page where I use the 0.5-inch elastic, so you can just go to my page to watch them. So for the elastic, the first thing we are going to do is to stitch it down like you can see in this video, and the measurement of the elastic depends on the waist measurement you are working on. For this big elastic, it doesn't stretch like the 0.5-inch elastic, so you shouldn't remove too many inches from the waist measurement. You can just do 5 inches from the actual waist measurement of your client. The next thing I want to do now is to put the elastic inside the band, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'll start sewing. I'll just make sure that when I'm sewing, I am stretching the fabric out so as to match up with the elastic. The measurement of the elastic we cut out is smaller than the measurement on the waistband, so I'll just make sure to adjust this with the elastic, and I'll sew gently. I'm trying to explain everything in this video so that it can be very understandable. So now remember that the band we cut out was 5 inches, and when we fold now it becomes 2.5 inches, and the elastic band measurement is 2 inches wide. Now we have extra 0.5-inch allowance which we left for joining allowance that we'll be using to join the band to the trouser. So that is where I am sewing on right now. This is very easy to do. Just make sure to stretch your fabric out and you sew. Now this is what I have after sewing, and the next thing I want to do now is to run stitches through that band so as to have this trending design. So while you are doing this, you have to make sure that you are stretching out the fabric and you are sewing. Please always make sure to stretch out your fabric and you sew. So I'm just going to be running those stitches through the band now. If you've seen the previous tutorial I posted on this band where I used 0.5-inch elastic and this, which one do you think is easier? Well, I think they are both easy. It depends on you, Sha. Alright, so let's continue. Now I am done running my stitches through the band, and this is what I have. I have 3 stitches on this band, and the drawstring goes to the one in the middle, and that is where I have the 2 buttonholes. Alright, now it's time to join the band to the trouser. Here I will make sure that where I have the buttonholes on this band will be facing outside so that I can have the rope out once I insert it. And I'll also make sure that the part that I notched at the beginning of this video is placed directly at the center front of this trouser. Remember that where I notched at the beginning of this video was what we used as a guide to know where we will be having our buttonhole, so we'll still be using it as a guide now by placing it on the center front of the trouser. And I'm going to sew all through now. Please, while sewing, you want to make sure that you are stretching out the band. We have elastic in there already, so you have to be stretching out the fabric and you sew. And now I am done joining the band to the trouser. The next thing I want to do now is to sew the rope that will be passing inside the band, and I'm sure everyone knows how to do this already, so there is no need to explain anything here. I'll sew the rope now and go ahead to open up the buttonholes using my seam ripper. Okay, now that I have opened up the buttonholes, I'll use my safety pin to pass the rope inside the band, as you can see me doing this video. Alright, so while we do this, I would like to tell you that if you are here to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please kindly do that now. I have the link there in my bio. I have so many tutorials to post. Please kindly subscribe now, please. And finally, our band is ready. Can you see it is looking so beautiful? Would you be trying yours soon? I have videos on my page on how to make the trouser both baggy trouser and a straight trouser. I have a video on how to make the band using different methods, how to fix the pocket. I have everything on my YouTube channel. I also have them on my TikTok page. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel now and follow my page on TikTok if you are yet to do so. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. I'll see you in my next video.